Okay, so I want to preface this video with saying, I'm gonna do really badly in this gameplay. I have not beaten, Weird Route Spammed Neo, and I just got acrylic nails on, which is probably the worst time to do it. And this is rushed, but it's my first video, so, like, no big deal. Thank you. So this video was sparked with Vinted controversy. I've watched both Dan Kiebo's and, Danielle's advocacy videos on this. I think both of them oversimplify a couple of points, but this is no way being rude or anything toward their videos. I have seen that Danielle did put out a second video denouncing her previous points. So I think within modern politics today, there's a lot of good versus bad binary, where it's our side is entirely noble and correct, their side is malicious and stupid. When in reality, I think that most political disagreements aren't battles of good versus evil. They're just contemplating core values. Um, it's just usually it's just deep systematic disagreements that become entangled by overreactions or changes to support their own personal narratives. I also think that there's a I also think that the right and left really force complex issues to be on one linear line, and it completely ignores the fact that conservative ideology can also have social issues. Like, someone who's conservative can think, oh, maybe things like immigrants, they're okay, you know? But I think I'm not really conveying that point correctly, so don't go too heavy on that. Um, so I think that, also on social media, there's a lot of sound bites. So you'll find a 15-second clip, and then that turns into like a 200 character social media post, with an inflammatory headline. Complex issues like healthcare, immigration, or taxes are boiled down to like singular slogan posts, and actual substance can be lost. You can get emotional outrage with any subcultural context. Um, it's kind of just boils down to people not reading deeply into things and not doing their own research. I think we've all done that before, like with this whole Vinted thing. We're looking at these headlines and they're obviously disgusting, but there's no real proof because Vinted puts out little, they like auto fill in their requirements, all this, and they have like the ages. And then the moment people find out about this entire issue, they start making troll posts. Many websites that are against human trafficking have gone against this. It said, oh, it's not true. The same thing with the not Wayground, what? The same thing with, another company, Wayfair. They had the same issue about nightstands and pillows, but no one really believed them after, and it cluttered up certain avenues for, like, I don't want to say real victims, but yeah, real victims. And it can also be seen as an alt-right pipeline. But I do have to do more research on that because I do not remember the entire reason why that's true. Okay, so I just did some more research. So apparently it's because it begins to get people to not believe mainstream authorities when they start searching for alternative explanations, which opens the door for algorithms and influencers to introduce dog whistle like narratives like the Great Replacement. It also gives a survival complex where hoaxes prey deeply on the primal fears of children's safety by convincing users that they are waking up to a hidden threat. Communities form around a hidden threat, and these communities form a reactionary need to fight back, making them highly susceptible for radical political figures who promise to restore law and order to these traditional values. Platforms like Reddit will often point out viral trafficking hosts that are baseless to distract from real systematic high trafficking efforts. They serve a deliberate, excuse me, sorry, I'm stretching. They serve a highly deliberate purpose in alt-right ecosystems, far-right groups, and utilize these shock value theories to crowdsource the truth. Building echo chambers where radical ideologies are slowly normalized as viewers seek out more content. I think that it's easy to fall down that pipeline. I have done that, though I am a leftist. I find myself just getting very angry at these hoaxes, you know? And I think that's mostly what drove me to make this video. Even if I haven't posted anything like this before. Which, by the way, guys, check out my art, because that's much better than my commentary. And I'm sure it always will be. Yeah.